Maybe, yeah, this way.
Sure. As long as I can put that on you first.
Take a on Tantric, this one. Maybe more at this, okay. Yeah. Guy are in the rich. This time, Tantric, yeah. Oh, that I got, yeah. And this got. Tham Kê Thu Jie Xiao Jie Rei Sun Chong Xin Jie Me To Du Jie Bong Jiong Wei Zi Jie Nong Po Da Wo Ji Bie Gu Xiao Jie Jie Ru Xiao La Qiang Zi Lo Du Jian Qiang Wang De Lo Na Ro Tang Ma Me Ta Po Pa Zhun Ji Tian Gong Ge Zhi Sum Tian Zai Wei Na Me Zai Ju La Ma Ye Dam Qu Qiong La Zu Wan De Su Da Ju Qin Jie Lo Ta Nga Zu Ta Da Ni Nga Zu Ta Lu Yir Ke Ga Chu Ro De Yir Ke Ga Chu Ti Da Dem Chu Ak Chu Wa Jie Cu Ge Ra Ti Gang Dem Chu Ti Na Ten Chu Qi Ro Wow, the cheat into Thank my you know that
download the app.
Yeah. Then get my another Gachan was Chira Shushu Malaysia, then Chira Shuk Malaysia, Talon to be Zonam Chimbores and the Roche show, Tawano Chisona to ya. So Maratsu Sama be Zonam Chimbores and Dorata, Talo be the Arabochico going to the Chelsea and the Gana Temcho, and Ruchia. Or the song to be a son of Chimboroa, or the Tijit, Tanga to that and Rima dropped out on the neck, Mats Sugar Zone, or Tin do Tang is a shit on the Makalekali Margelo or Gosra, or Tichidu Tenenrima, so the lawyer Chira.
So this year for the summer teachings, again we are holding the Cakrasamvara retreat together with the Cakrasamvara teachings, and actually we are really very fortunate to have Kachin Rinpoche with us this year, because normally he's actually not here that much, and especially in summer. So now he's here and he gave us instructions on Mahamudra and also Cakrasamvara, and he will give empowerment. So we are really very fortunate, and we have great merit for that opportunity. And so now we will continue the teachings by going through the sadhana. So we just so Rinpoche asked for me to teach on that sadhana, so I will just go slowly, step by step through that sadhana, the Cakrasamvara sadhana.
Tene Tajitang to the Yedam Gumiate, that was his own song, so the charming get catching Borindo. And Drogo Pamo to song and Jason the Rutaku Goms, Gopantami Shemba doors, or then Jason the Chancho Assembly Chongwa is, or Chancho Assembly Chongwa, and Jason the Rutaku Gom, Chancho Assembly Chongwa is. Janson the
Lagode, Changes in the Chongwa.
Changes and the Chongwa in Zonora, or the cheated, Jitan Carzon or Sena, a Chancho Assembly Chongwa, Jason the Rutaku Lunga Isom, Lunga Isom Tamabe, Droba Chube Gopayos, Lunga Isom Tamabe, Droba Chia Gopayores. What I can do on the what they take on a year. Lunga is from the Sunzi Topa Bonat, Yedam like Chilean is, Songa than Zibi Topa Bonat, yidam la in chine is wa zo de da yidam gu ya de chamba ning je chang chu sim wa ta se xie qi ne se ne da nga zu la gom na wa ta ne la yi xie la yang ta ba se ro tu ya de sen ju pian to yu sa ra la.
So first, in general, when we practice a Yidam deity, Gachin Rinpoche had already mentioned today that it is most important first that we cultivate love and compassion. Also, Pagmo Drupa had said that the rainbow-like form of the deity arises from bodhicitta. And Jigten Sumgön also has said that meditate on the rainbow-like form of the deity that has arisen from bodhicitta, and this is an opportunity to cut through the web of elaborations of our ordinary grasping at body, speech, and mind. And so through the practice of the Yidam deity, the activity of the Yidam deity is that through that we abandon the dualistic concepts with regard to our body, speech, and mind. And so now, before we practice the Yidam deity, so first we cultivate an altruistic mind. We cultivate a basis of bodhicitta, and based on that, love and compassion, we then practice the deity. And in that way, then the practice of that deity becomes a practice of a true wisdom being. Tambo tere la om suba wa shuda sarva dharma suba wa shudo han saison do wa tate yons tabe chu tamchi yons taba nga wo ndo wa tin yun tang zai ko shu sa de dang a si ton da wa ta ton da ta pa dong ban da jang ko shu sa dong ba ro na wa dong ba jang ne ti nga la tene ta cham ni ge khang ji cham ba ni ge khang zo te jian lian se ro wa wa ten du jian lian se ti gu guam dong bei nga le qin lu yu ti gun sta qin lu ki yu ti 사자 등가 또 냠냠 치사 카레나테 참바데 닝게 크랑지 테네 예담 테제란 세트콤 와테 제란 세트 참닝제 크랑수 차데요레 와테인두 와테콤 사도르 자즈신 청마 참닝게 차데레 와테주콤 와테 다 참닝게 송코공야린도 와텐 지天 송공티 공체 나요 카르스 송웨 콜로 메중 창초 셈 송코나는 야쇼테 다 창초 셈테레스 와테 송요라텐두 와테리 와테인두 테네 나라서 추냠네 진야제이나 테 파티 메지 팽게레스 소소파 참닝게 제와 차딘 켐바티케소 파티 당년 송나티 제와 라지케소 르비아 세 팽게레스 탐보 소소파 테 참닝게 곰는 사초사라 참닝게 차데레스 와타 텐주 곰야 테린도테 당연히 마제 로고타 제 롱정라 omsubawa shuda sarvadan masuba dongbing le chinu yuri meme chowa tuji gunde dar ka shije cha za cha te ta ni me ren chen bin chi kam do chi khos wa da jian sai te la cha shi rin do ji tang ta jian sai te ramda cha tong jian tong zhang tan ramda yura tan ta ti na te cha shi ba de wa te rin do wa te ji ji tang ni ma ji jian zong gong da chi na ta 제란 셀때는 this 공상제야 총요리 가르스나 공 당부 단다사도 자사에 자든데 공다 배제 다 쇼트사 말에 사자 신바제 나자 메신반 고지도 사자 신바제 파송 총송 나잠 사자 준 메메사제 어때서 파송도 되는 공제란 세 탕가진도 어디 군들 차제 어때서 지용도 되네 공참닝데 시고 심장 당부 소소 닝제제 당가랑 배 탑주 버린 나사도 보는 시합상 되니파데 시안 닝제제 당가 안동고 파모 좋아서 상제자에서 담아토 어때네 심장 신바도 더 엄마서 신바서 배 닝제 시미 바제 지용도 어때네 지대 종공 나사에서 상마람상 차 어때네 추야 저거 지난세 탕가데 차지 어때 지난 합선나다 다 공제도
티 참니 제제야스 그 총도 지단 지단 좀 다 소소 예담 요나 요레 스미나 제나세 곰스 와탄주 좀 요레 와탄주 콩 제나세 마보 곰도 그 감본트 좀 제나세 곰야 들 마부 요레 와탄주 제나세 참니 게서 이 캐신 보제린도
So then we start in the sadhana on page 2. And first there is visualization of a protection sphere. It is called the visualization of the 3-layered protection sphere of Dumo. And that was actually written by Lord Jigten Sumgön. And now normally we visualize different kinds of protection spheres. And so here it is a 3-fold or 3-layered protection sphere. And so before that, actually the first protection sphere that we generate is the protection of love and compassion. And then the second one then is the wrathful, the fierce protection sphere, the layer. And then the third one is where you visualize in yourself as the Yidam deity. So these 3 levels of visualization here is then called the 3-layered protection sphere. And it begins with the mantra Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarvadhamma Svabhava Shuddhoham. And the meaning of that is, like literally it is saying, all phenomena are completely pure, and that is my nature. And so first, the meaning of that is that everything becomes empty, purified into emptiness. And then from within that state of emptiness, then the first layer of the visualization is the protection sphere of love and compassion. So first we visualize Chenrezig. On page 3, so it says, from within a state of emptiness, the entire universe arises as the form of the great compassionate Lord, free of any reference point, white like a kunda flower with 1 face and 4 arms. The 2 main hands are joined at the heart, and the outer 2 hold a lotus and mala. He is adorned with precious ornaments and sits in Vajra posture. So first we visualize Chenrezig, and so actually it is our surrounding, our place of practice. So the outer surrounding, the environment, the place where you're practicing, think that it all becomes the nature of love and compassion. And Chenrezig is the manifestation of love and compassion. So that is why we visualize Chenrezig here. So here you think that all your surroundings, the trees and the bushes and so on, all the wild animals and so on, all your surroundings here become this protection sphere of love and compassion, pervaded by compassion. Jigten Sumgön had said in the Gongchik that he said the most supreme, the best protection sphere is bodhicitta. And so if you have that as a Dharma practitioner, then that will help you overcome various obstacles along the path. For example, even if someone is causing obstacles, if you sustain your love and your compassion for them, then they will also receive that love and the obstacle will diminish. So first we develop love and compassion, and so you think that your surrounding, the environment all around you becomes the nature of love and compassion. And so here Chenrezig appears in the form with 4 arms and 1 face. There's different kinds of Chenrezigs. Sometimes he appears with 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes. So, but here is the 4-armed Chenrezig. And actually, Jigten Sumgön also himself had actually ultimately attained enlightenment through Chenrezig, because before he was very ill. He contracted leprosy, which is a very contagious disease. So he wanted to isolate himself to a place where he cannot infect anybody else, and he was certain to die. So he isolated himself to that place, and in that cave he had arranged Chenrezig tanka, and he prostrated in front of that tanka. And at first, he felt sorry for himself, and he felt that I am like the worst off person in the world. I'm so pitiful. He felt so terrible for having this disease. But then the next thought that rose in him was actually he felt that even though I have that disease, I have also met with the great master Drupon, who is really like Buddha in human form, and I have received all of his instructions. And all of his other sentient beings have not had that fortune. They have not encountered him. So actually, I am really very fortunate for having met such a great master. And what about all those other sentient beings who have not had that opportunity? So at that time, immeasurable compassion for those sentient beings arose in him. And then after that, very quickly, he was actually cured from the disease. And that was really mainly through the blessings that he received through Chenrezig in the Tanka before him. So through these blessings, then love and compassion arose in his own mind. And so also Chigden Sumgön had said, if you already have a yidam, then you practice that. But if you do not yet have a yidam, then you should practice Chenrezig. And that is also because he himself had really practiced Chenrezig extensively, and also had received that from his guru Drupon. So the practice of Chenrezig and to develop this protection sphere of love and compassion is very significant here.
Da jiren saite sajo tse yora ti tuka la ta so combat tabri tan combat tabu ta chu te me ho baset gom gore zondo da karsena te zo tere da ka ki ta shive gang la han zai wa ji dang nian ten shive gang la chun han zai cham ni je sa ro ya me le ina da te chu na ba gom ne te ne han te tene zai kora pa so ko kom to ya chu so ko o te rin do te ne te choja me ho se o te me ho se te kom gores zong do da sim jia ka ki an zai shi wei man du na zai chu ko na ba chin ti gang du ya ta chi da kang la kang du na de yang te nga zu ta zai nyam na chi nya ta la zong ko ndong zai ta Rwanda, Atendu, what in that is on door to got neck on Trojan Megon, Salme Metot, and Goye, Yonji to cutting so Shabian Titan Yonji, but so do you see no good chores on your daughter, on Benzatin Maro can home, say what that man don't do.
So then after we visualize that, the surrounding, then you recite a mala round of the Mani Mantra or Mani Padme Hum, like here. And so then that was your surrounding around you, the environment. And then, so that is Chenrezig. And then at the heart of Chenrezig is your retreat hut, your cabin. So inside of which you are practicing. So the surrounding is Chenrezig. At the heart of Chenrezig, there is then the wrathful form of Achala. So at the heart of Chenrezig which is your heart. Your heart is Achala. And Achala is wrathful because sometimes when we encounter different obstacles, then sometimes we are not able to pacify them through the peaceful means of love and compassion. And then it's necessary to meditate on a wrathful deity to overcome them. Just like with sentient beings, some sentient beings cannot be tamed through peaceful means, and they must then be tamed through wrathful means. So the deities appear according to the needs of sentient beings to tame them. And so here in our practice place, when we visualize the protection sphere, we have these two layers of a peaceful and then also a wrathful protection sphere. And so for Achala, then we visualize at his heart, so at Chenrezig's heart, which is my dwelling place, is the wrathful king, the protector Achala, blue like a flax flower, holding a sword in his right hand and a lasso in his left, held in threatening mudra at his heart. Standing on his right foot and placing his left knee on a sun disk seat, his splendorous form outshines the four maras. And then again we recite Mala round of the Achala mantra.
Oh, then that's some part the Tukar in order that he took a la Ranlu Terra, the Tuka, Chunju Beni, the Ranlu Pamashini Gondo Machani to go tobacco, Econ Jaro, shows on water. Or that he took out the Soso Yedam Congo, that's on some part. Carsenata, Soso Yedam Yabo, Jerem Dembo, Yuna, then the Horsi Duncan, Horsi took Marwa. Carsena Yedam ten Nanton song to you was later. Yedam Nanton song to Bandora, Nanton song to you. 别强调是在花期当年这一呢，今天他这一把恰，今天就一把过去了，这一些他花期当嘛了，这样的，一些他这了，一些他花节能电波就有呢，今天他这个，但是花期当头个嘛了哇，我听人家讲说的呢，他说节能电波进的，他在广播过去的，但这就当泡沫下多嘛，一见面泡沫过呀，说一旦可来讲呢，偏见这条啥人得来有了，说我听的。别想开心那天就都咱们是说一旦我们在下面，泡沫了那么多咱们是啦，我的天就也啥的，天的他我知道一旦他在那通送天就办着我光的那完了，东巴的我知道都是有嘛吧，我天的我这点呢我是家特别，我说我就要不去特别，我天就偏头也啥了。
And then next on page 5 is then the, page 5, there is the third protection sphere then. And so here then at Achala's heart, so you have outside the Chenrezig, then at the heart is Achala, which is your cabin. And then you are inside the cabin, which the inside of the cabin is the heart of Achala. So inside of the cabin, which is at Achala's heart, you appear as the Yidam deity. And so it says, at Achala's heart, upon a tetrahedron, lotus and sun, I appear as Vacha Varahim, red with 2 faces and 2 arms, holding a hooked knife, a skull cup, and a khatvanga. With the right leg bent and the left one outstretched, I abide in a posture of royal enjoyment. And so then the Vacha Varahim mantra. So here you're visualizing yourself as the Yidam deity. And actually, if your visualization, your generation stage of the Yidam is very stable, then you cannot be affected by any obstacles. Most obstacles actually are caused by worldly gods. And when your visualization is stable, then they cannot cause any obstacles to you. And so therefore, it is important now to practice, to meditate on the Yidam with stability. And so here it says you appear as the Yidam Vacha Varahim, it's Vacha Yogini, but actually it doesn't really have to be Vacha Varahim. There's actually some texts that just say, and now visualize the Yidam deity. It doesn't even mention Vacha Varahim. So you can visualize your Yidam deity here. And the Yidam deity, the appearance of the Yidam is that union of appearance and emptiness. And because its nature is emptiness, it also is not an object that can be affected by any obstacles. So therefore, through this visualization, we are able to overcome various obstacles.
Da tin jo tere mar sondu da ane sarwa medan de ne mazawan ne madan bero zane so ha shi ja sa jo ste nga ja san dong do jo ban ji tian song zi ba wo si dong do wa da tin jo tere da jo ba ren bo xin zi bi ding yan zi xie wang ko ne si na mong go re jo ban ji tian song zi bi sab jun tu mo ma yi ba ding yan zi wang ko lang wa la zong wong do ngo yi jie zong yo re sin chung ko le ba jie ya sta ya bo di ne wa de nyam na chi go re zong do 원도 된 거지 제 좀여를 승원도 되다 테레 원도 돼 가서나 장조 셈제야지 된 거지 되래 다 예담 보면 내리 마용도 왕하네 야들이 된조 같은 거 같이 원도 거지 제좀 어때 드린도在一起呢的我点这是我们那的那我点切上场的多가서는 심지 요리 예담하 공야 요리 라마 공야 요리 되就他敲在新波功能这个요리 되네提接了我요리我听到我听我听呢但这就当当我做定眼子往特浪呢我这说在当我做上啊些的他们在这做开心不啦 我这他们这年家讲头要的，三浪有天就是他是亲都不要的，就是我把蒙古节有这种多定在往他那里，我听的，我等个做等交几把这种那有完的六几块，我这的来讲票是也是啦。
And so then we recite another mala round of the Vajrayogini mantra. And then next on page 6, then next is the Samadhi empowerment from the profound dharma of Gyopa Rinpoche Chikden Sumgön. And so it says here in a small print, Namo Guru, the practice of the Samadhi empowerment which was taught by Gyopa Chikden Sumgön in the uncommon profound dharma has 3 parts: the preliminaries, main practice, and conclusion. First, assume a proper posture on a comfortable cushion. First you sit in a comfortable position to get ready for the practice, and then the practice begins with the preliminaries, which is the cultivation of bodhicitta. And then next is the main part practice, where we visualize the yidam and we receive the empowerments. And then in the end, the conclusion, which is the dedication. And actually, also here, the 5-fold path of Mahamudra is actually also complete. And we practice, first we cultivate bodhicitta, and then we practice the yidam, and we supplicate to the Guru, and we practice Mahamudra, and in the end we dedicate. And the reason for adding the Samadhi empowerment here is because it is a way to restore any broken samayas. And samayas are very important. The pure samayas are very important in the practice of secret mantra. And then also it will actually be supportive in us completing all the qualities of the stages and paths, so to master all these qualities. And so that is why actually this Samadhi empowerment is not really in the Cakrasamvara sadhana, but it was added here for that reason.
Then that is in the major Namkanian be Simjana, the Den Dunga, Sanji, Compound of Jawan, Nature Gom, Setis, Chancho Simjiarwa, Simjatam Jiti, Sanji Tuyachi to get 1 Nature to come Zondo, or that the Jasa Hamagojimado, or the Rani Yedam Larsi, mean some source, what I mean some source at the Kahi can mean some source, no, the hanging on the loving you are. Source she gets a Mari, means some take a palafura. What's in a what's it on the what's in do?
So she
You must do the song.
chicken some she.
So get Kaji to Lambo.
She like it.
Kaji to get a this sort gets a maris. Not so kitchen. Some sort Tesor and jungle. I'm going to take at her. What's it Tesor? The what he gets in the what he do. This aunt to Kova and the Chona singing Secura, sorted source in the one to Quajana. Tenirani Yedan has mean some source, Pema in that Tarza, the Zabella Madurian Chanka, what is Zabella Mate, Dorian Chankanabate, Gomgo, Jetanga Zunguina, the Kaduna, Zabella Mate, Dorian Chanaba Gomgura. Or Tene, that Lama John Guzi, you take good dance in another. Kargomna lecture. Sounds Lama John Nikiti, Fulation, so Dorjian Chankana Batagwana. Tene that's a Lame Jones, so the major you dance you to Yala. Tipping to your Lamdote, Dorjian Chankom, you at Jim Sense, Telindo. What is a Lama Dorjian Chanku, Herugap, number of Jim Dandis, that Dorjian Chanku, Herugap, number of them Chono Gom, Gumji, so them Chogom Tene, Herugap, number of Jim Dandis, Dorjian Pomo, Yom Tanjis, Tajikman order. 这种之间也有人把人家他讲讲讲过后，对咱自己点了开始跟人是我他我这自己点把手抢起吧，我在我他我这把什么多呢？这个的，我这自己点把手。
So it begins then with bodhicitta, the preliminary. I will practice the yoga of the 4 empowerments, so that all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, may have happiness, be freed from suffering, and gain the state of Buddhahood. So first you cultivate the motivation, thinking that I'm going to practice the Samadhi empowerment, take the 4 empowerments, in order to establish all sentient beings in the state of enlightenment. And then on page 7 then begins the main practice, and here you visualize I appear as the Yidam deity before me at brow level on a seat of lotus sun, and lotus sun, moon, and brocade silk is my root guru Vajradhara in the form of Bhagavan Sri Haruka. So here, this brow level, before you at the brow level, so that should not be misunderstood. It seems previously it might have been a thought of being 4 finger widths or so before, but there's nothing like that in there. Anyways, it means really directly, just directly before, directly at that level, yeah? So that's why you visualize the root guru who appears in the form of Vajradhara. And that's actually how we always practice. We also in the preliminaries, for example, we visualize Vajradhara that has the essence of the root guru. And the reason why we do that is because if that root guru does not have all the perfect qualities, and if he has a few faults, then it is good to visualize the form of Vajradhara. And then, of course, if the guru only has perfect qualities and no faults, then you can also visualize the guru. So that's the reason. So if the guru had a little of some slight fault, then that perception would be cleared away if you visualize him in the form of Vajradhara. And then when you see him as this flawless being before you, then that will also lead to his blessings and qualities to enter your mind. So that's why we visualize Vajradhara. And so Vajradhara here in the form of the Bhagavan Sri Haruka, which here is the Haruka Cakrasamvara.
Ti want na ro zo de ti ton da zuo za ya tang bo zuo sa wo shu sa zuo za ya de da jiang ce wan qiu jin ya ba yin la dun ba ti do yin la du qia ce wei yin la qiu bei yin la ya fei yin la da jie xi rang de qiu gu gu ru si yin la de yu la zu luan de bia ti ge ba chang qiu mo ya de ba ge ba jing ji da xi ta mi ji cao chang qiu qie ren wo si la duo 我这几天呢，他这里往通达了做完的吧呢，是那么多人抢进不到了，往过完自己去做容多他。我真的那么要没参做朋友，我这个往出的没参天，了解这边很北往学校，当你上街参进对别个是，那同他也进口的你推荐，那么要你们就用在他马老从这啥的吧？你们就用上的，我在跟忙当我在跟忙当下，真白天俺就这边上面往角头，当你上街参进对别从交通俺就让你推荐，那么要用投接别别的，我在我帮出的，你看天一节这边上面，当你上街参进对别，健康那边情况工作多，那么要用我当我在学习我那天过上这把他，学会往头上街参进，结果从头汤你们一些说我你们同着都就这些交在前部呢。我们这个是吧？
ngati ta se ti phamo ko hatan lo me nga chatan lo ko
da ma lo na这你老想在弄中嘛弄的啥的我当时就这小在进步光呢是那这小在进步那光那这个当我做我点这是光呢就当我做小在我点你们呢去那考了这这小在刚明显动作呀其他就有嘛来推广下天的den donc le dingen ze wang yi le ya ba jiong mo che de kong na ba de den donc do是给龙电子你嘛的工作电子你嘛这个题
把中人么上
把中人么che的lo ma给龙电子你嘛有啦在工作小在工作den donc呢这就这小在前部呢这对的开始光通了这是光我这光上呢的呢接了的给完的总把这都给完的导演做完有的半天了嘛就做完什么节这也是让我把它学是我的我把它去我听出去都做我晓得我做那听出去个这这小在我的工作这小在新不刚没先动作也是有嘛它准点的动面我听对den动对听着那就这小在新不呢是那工作下我听对听我的这长多的那了我的几波了我的长多我听我的你们几百几嘛同的几波去了来了问多
So then you visualize, also the consort Vajravarahi, and then on page 9, then in order to accumulate merit, then so as to receive the 4 levels of empowerment, we first accumulate merit. And so for that, we offer the 7 branches here on page 9 of prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying. And then after that, we come to the supplication in order to receive the empowerment. So we supplicate to the Guru, please, Vajradhara, please bestow empowerment upon me. And then there's this the visualization. You can read it then yourself. There is this, basically the 4 empowerments that you receive. And that goes until 13 in the end. So after you have received those 4 empowerments, in the end then it says, and thus I abide in Mahamudra, unfabricated primordial awareness. And so then here you then remain within a state of Mahamudra for however long. And so actually now when you are actually practicing the 5-fold path of Mahamudra, when you get to the Mahamudra section, then there is actually not anything to be recited there. There's just a meditation on Mahamudra. And therefore, the past lineage masters have actually then said that at that time we can practice the Samadhi empowerment for the practice of Mahamudra. So for example, there was Pachung Rinpoche and Gelong Tenzin Nyima, and they have said that because there is nothing to be recited in the Mahamudra section, you can recite the Samadhi empowerment for the Mahamudra practice. And then here, when you get to page 13 in the end, then you just stay in the state of Mahamudra for however long you can. And then after that, on page 14, then is the dedication. And that actually completes the 5-fold path of Mahamudra. And so this is actually also how we ourselves have practiced the 5-fold path. So also in our retreat, when we got to Mahamudra, since there's nothing to be recited there, we just practiced this supplication here in grant the mayor. First, may I abide in Mahamudra, and then you abide in Mahamudra. So we just did that, and then we just stayed in meditation. And then after the dedication, that short section actually is the 5-fold path complete. And actually, then there's not even a need to do the more elaborate 5-fold path. It is all complete within that, actually. So it seems quite easy, right?
tene tanere ma junde je do ta chitang ga zo chinam zawa la ma ngo ro zawa yedam la gro wa te ndite nga zo ta ze a chwa ne chinam ju ya na ma ke chim bo cha yo ro wa khare sana te zanga te ta la me chinam ma yo na zanga to pan char tu ma re zo sho ra te ndi wa tene te junde ap go sho re wa tene tan jik ten zo gong che na la te ju ban ne ju be chu sa wa zo wa ra te ndi nga zo junde ap te ta ga ju ko ma te zo Juban Jubi chose ups.
You chose.
Juban Marju did chose ups. Or Zon or attend you. Or take kitchen body. Malari Pizon Rakarsena. Julian Lama Magomna. One course in Jachin Hapchons, Jubat at the end of Lama Magona. One course in Jachin Hapchungres. Or Zon Doa. Or attend you to Jubat kids. Julian. Nama Magomna, one course in Jachin Hapchons, or Tendi Tenin, Malari Petizon Rova, or Tendi Tenin as a Juban, Julia, as well as Dana, so Tenyama Yako Yunada, Tesopinto Shataze, the Dorjee Chane, Sonten, the Dudunda, that's a Vela Maya Chaz, Julia Dupanda, or Terra. When the Jetanti, then Zeba bought into Jumbo Chison, Bemejan Sense, Conzi Charlie. What in Zejang Madame, what they call the what they done was the Denab Jubison depth, said you, or Denab Jubison depth. What so do shall it? What they do shall what they do? What is done that you depth?
And then next on page 15 is the short lineage supplication. And so it is said that the root of all blessings is the Guru, and the root of all siddhis, of all accomplishments, is the Yidam deity. So therefore, if we engage in this practice of a sadhana, in order to receive the to receive blessings, the guru is actually very important. And it is said, especially now in the practice of the secret mantra, it is difficult to realize its view without having received the blessings of the guru. So we need a guru, and we need a guru that possesses the lineage. And Lord Jigten Sumgön had said in the Gongjig also that the Dharma that possesses a lineage is most profound. And also Milarepa had said that if a guru does not possess a lineage, then the blessings that we receive from him, for example, when receiving empowerment, will be lesser. So the lineage is very important, and then our practice so supplicating to the lineage gurus will also help us complete our practice. And so here the lineage supplication is very short. It starts from the Buddha Vajradhara and goes until the root guru. And it comes from lineage supplication on the succession of the Drikung throne holders, and it was composed by that time the Chezang Rinpoche Bime Gyaltsen, and this is just a very abbreviated version of that.
tene ta junde pripane dorjen changwang de la naro ta marme ta po pa dun ji kan gong ka di sum den za we la me sha za ju la ma ye dam chu jong surwa de so da ju qin ji lo tene ta ni tin ju de do di qin ha so te ma lo under sa ta ji tang ga zo dorje chi bi te ka du na jang do wa te dem chao nyam na qin yan na do di te ta ya ma zhe在ma zhe ba ten ju qi guo de zo de wa ten ju qin do wa de chu gan dong se chang ma zai dorje chi bin zi guo ya andong de wa ten ju yong shi do sha te du de ta dorje chi bi ti qin ha de wa ten jin do wa ten du ta dorje zhe nga de guo ka ri na de qiu sa de ne wa ten ju yu len zhe ge zong xian do wa te ba wa dorje zhe guo ta zhe nga kang ro ram ne jie pa so la so so ra tang so ji bi lo xie sen de do du na se dan do du ki chu gan de zhen do wa te dorje qin ji la bia dorje hone dorje samba shu tab dewa chin bo rang ji dorje res ran do chi wa le dorje ni ma shu shi ra dong ba ni rang shi wa de dorje samba ya me ni do du na ko na dorje terwa wa de du la hua ye su ta adi de yong la hua temo adi se a temo adi yong adi ga di yong ye le adi de yong te ga di sa de ra
Ye adira.
ye de sa de yong su ba la ye se ni ma ta yong ten da ba se la do wa te
Yong gitawara.
a
Kar yong gitawa.
yong de da be ke ra ji zam ten ru zam ta do ri so so zin kan te la ant de go shu chin ham da go shu la hua la chin ham da yin sa wa wa te chin ne wa te rin do wa da tin ju te te do ji chin ha nga te do wa om sarwa da tang ga ta ka re ta demo ga di yong shi la is ni man yong da wa se war chos om sarwa da tang ga ta samaya ye ka dam dara me he hong phi te won da ming mi do ji ni kar song sem gen zang zhen da ne te won da ming mi do ji guo den si da do ming mi ke lang ne guo yong fa song si da do de la yang se la nga da ne chi na ke chos jie ji zhuo se wa ta nga ji man dong de chi bu zhu guo do chi bu zhu wa de ban zar da ra ne zha ran na sam zha ran sa ban ba da ji zha le ban jia ba ra me da su ba ma za si do chen na ye me da hong hong ho ho si lang do.
Then next on page 16, after that we come to the consecration of the Vajra and the bell. Actually, according to the tradition, it is said that when we practice Cakrasamvara, then actually, strictly speaking, throughout the whole duration of practicing this sadhana, of reciting this sadhana, you should actually always hold the Vajra and bell. So you should never separate from Vajra and bell. So that's according to the tradition. And so for that, we are first here consecrating the Vajra and bell. And first it begins with the Vajra. You can either use 9 or a 5-pronged Vajra. And the Vajra then has the nature, it transforms into Vajra Sattva. And then next, the bell transforms into Vajradopa, the consort. And then on page 17, so then you have consecrated Vajra and bell, and then the Sanskrit vowels on my right palm transform into a sun, and the consonants on my left palm into a moon. So then by visualizing this, by visualizing the vowels and the sun in the right hand, and then the consonants and the moon in the left hand, that consecrates your palms, your hands, in which you will hold the Vajra and bell. And then you recite the mantra of blessing, of consecrating the Vajra, the last one on page 17. And then the next one is the first mantra on page 18 is the consecration mantra of the bell. And as you recite that, you should also ring the bell a bit. And then the remaining mantra, and then that's the end of the consecration.
Denjo lange adopta shin to do by yani rapsi he chaba shosos wata denjo adopta da man da mambo yoro la nga the nga zu jitang demcho the la mambo jen do ka san ka la tu chu sa wa ten do yore ka la juk som sa ten do yore da ka len che se de ya ni po ji bo ten do yora wa ten du tang nga zu ne da da la nga ri sa nga wa ten la nga se ya de ka ri sen demcho ya ni tang看住现多我的那个是，我听到他的对他现在对吧？杨年入世是我的，现在对吧？杨年入世是现我的空的人是，我的这当dem就的他的可能大气过面的他年把马头玩是其他边巴是这有其他边巴是人自己去让自己下来，我的这块是人自己去让自己下来的起。我今天的温度秋啊的节秋啊，他说这个给吃饭团肉干脏些，团肉干脏，
团肉，
昨天团肉干脏些，昨天吃完现在人家嘛昨天光白有了，
团肉干脏了，
昨天团肉干脏些，空气当的毕竟南京的是现在的，然后毕竟南京的是昨天光白见到，毕竟是现在的，空气嘛他说了那块片有啥的，那个块片这里马从南京的是马片的。这个边面讲这，这个我们开始透过啥的，这讲我边面讲这，可能那讲我电子专注了，电子光塔。
边面讲成嘛？
电子专注应该光塔。
电子卡嘞？
电子专注。
专注哎。
我这电子专注提个空，这样让我拖，这在落就拖的别，太把钱不收啊，接的个，让我没得压啥，làm sao，但这个我们做的空，这年那么他我那些人都是，我这些做这送多。这边面电子讲成，开始电子专注，完结呢，但那往大马忙不去，但你们呢去用的，但你们这里空刚拿长马的这，可用跑下快买车谁噻？狼牙群买了车，刚把的下从那下都是拉回跑下买去，他现在在这怎么样？在情况下，因那空。电子专注变没会全部去做完就大票队，公安局这样来电子专注我是拍不得了，公其他不去吧，那么做完就来不得是。
你是拍什么哪事儿？
哪玩的是下，哪玩的就下落啥的，我是拍的哪玩下落啥吧？我这公其他不去去做完的就来不是，基本上公有什么差的是，我这记得呢，他公多把的我去呢，真的。这个题吃饭先到把种的么公司就把钱多，他娘呢去那吃饭先到这个题。
吃饭哦。
吃饭先把种的么去，那我做电子你嘛，他这些这钱多。
就是个，把种的么是电子嘛。
提起了电子你嘛罗。
你等等。
他这些这钱罗。我他可能把这这趟他这路当的就把钱多年金把的，他说可娘呢去。没事，娘们去多年，没事了，娘们去多年金把我这就工作第几遍拿着这团队干啥子？我这今年在公司的温度就这的，也就这说公司这么多。
的爬了什么的这种？
的大气呢，气呢？
大气呢？
你把码头还是人家，可能人家去哪去的，是这么多。
So and then on page 19, then we come to the beginning of the sadhana, the actual practice. It is the short, or actually very extremely concise sadhana of the 5 Cakrasamvara deities called illuminating the innermost heart. And so that is a very concise practice of Cakrasamvara, where the deity consists of 5 deities. There is actually different kinds of Cakrasamvara practice. There is also some practices where there is many more deities. There is some where there are 60 deities. Another practice there is 13. And then there's one where there is the co-emergent Cakrasamvara, where it's just Cakrasamvara with the consort. And so here this sadhana has 5 deities. And the principal deity is Cakrasamvara and the consort. And then there is the 4 dakinis, so 5 deities. And now this text that begins here on page 19, starting from the self-visualization until the mantra recitation. That section, that was actually written by the Vidyadhara, the Rinchen Dorjee. And then after that, and then before that, the preliminaries, and then after that, the concluding rituals and so on, they have been written by a Dzogchen monk called Döndrup Khalsang. He was actually originally from the Dzogchen monastery, but he then actually became a Drikung Kagyu lineage holder. And that happened once when he was on his way to Lhasa to go on a pilgrimage, the Nangchen Alera. So he had to travel through Nangchen, this part of Tibet, eastern Tibet. And so on his way, he encountered Tenzin Dorjee, which was the Chetsang Rinpoche, the holiness of the Drikung lineage at that time. And actually when he he met some people. He didn't met that holiness. He met some people who told him about that holiness. And so when he just heard about Tenzin Dorjee's name and his story, and a very profound feeling of devotion arose just naturally, and tears welled up in his eyes. And he felt that I need to go there. I need to go to Drikung Til and meet this Lama. This is my Lama. He knew that. And so then he met with Tenzin Dorjee, and he received empowerment and instructions, and then he practiced them. And one day, he all of a sudden became crippled, and he couldn't move his limbs any longer, his hands, his legs, he couldn't move them any longer. He couldn't get up. And then he felt, certainly I'm going to die now. So that night he supplicated to his guru, His Holiness Tenzin Dorjee, offering really a heartfelt supplication to the guru. And then that night, following that supplication, he had a vision of that guru of Tenzin Dorjee actually appearing before him, just like a real person actually coming, but it was a vision. And he blessed him, and in the morning he was completely cured from the disease. And then he actualized the highest realization. And then he actually became the throne holder of Drikung Til, like a lineage holder. For example, he was in the past. The practice lineage. Yeah. So he was the lineage holder of the practice lineage, and then also later on there was Pachung Rinpoche, and before we mentioned Tenzin Nyima, and now actually it is Dashirabden. So these lineage holders of the practice lineage are those masters who have really dedicated their entire life to practice, and who are upholding this lineage of practice. Then this monk, Döndrup Khalsang, he became also such a lineage holder of the practice lineage. And so in any case, he was the one who wrote the preliminary section and the concluding section of this text.
真的真的，大家当个做，但是人不去拿双的就得去过，他这就得呢，就当他呢，我做呢，他怎么说呢？那叫拉米酒的是，这拉米酒了，这白酒现在的买酒现你米酒香个的1万多，听到呢，他买酒现在的。他呢，怎么说？他就当他在家出现这种忙起在那的，怎么说过来出发top的人，老表出接去的。听讲那以后了，他个就给那么出头空忙起，他怎么说？他你们来去，出发top的人中的。个就上面去他们做，然后他怎么说自己学的，真是个呀。他就这样，然后他这趟马路去，觉得忙不在家里，天那做我他没拉这法了，他怎么说他那样的，对对，他在这么个就提前今年忙起谁的，他在这里多了，他的没来去录就那里多了，天对，做也他们电话你跑他做去个的。听对我让做的，在他那么一个空马里马酒的了，他在说你们其他去就把这酒买起来，他听出那的差的有了，听对，听出这是了。
Also, this morning, Rinpoche introduced us to the 4 classes of Tantra, and so of the new Tantric system. And of these 4 classes of Tantra, this Cakrasamvara practice here belongs to the Anuttara Yoga Tantra, the unsurpassed, the highest Yoga Tantra. And within that, there are 3 subdivisions. That is, there are the father tantras, the mother tantras, and the non-dual tantras. And this Cakrasamvara practice belongs to the mother tantras. And it is also said that in the past, actually, most of the Indian siddhas, there are the 80 Mahasiddhas of India, they have attained accomplishment based on the practice of Cakrasamvara. And then also later in Tibet, many of the great Mahasiddhas and Lamas, and most in the Kagyu lineage, have attained accomplishment based on the Cakrasamvara practice. And now, in general, throughout the Kagyu lineage, as Cakrasamvara is considered the main Yidam deity, and it is because Marpa, he had translated many different classes of Tantra, but the principal one that he conferred to Milarepa was Cakrasamvara. And then now all the followers of that lineage, of the Kagyu lineage, then made Cakrasamvara also their main Yidam deity practice. So many of the past masters have practiced and accomplished that deity, and that it has been practiced in an unbroken lineage. So this practice lineage that is endowed with blessings is an unbroken lineage of practice that still remains in the present day.
真的，他等就两个主他宁波的自己，像对吧？杨年写下吧，说他等就主他那说宁波那说对下来，真的卡是我来รับ是吧？是รับ是，听住这里中多，这几天呢，那么过了是年交吧，康健快乐等吧，两个主他娘是来呢，这群对其他多吧是其他，他这群汤干的我这群真的汤干的我，汤干的我听住有那听对了，其他是其他桥头是。他多起码能满着我的，确保能按照我他这个学生来说的有几，他说都是只有几家是，这样的都是这样的，完了都个学，这完都真的，我这个真的这你们俩去下头的，我在强调先给这样别人，你们俩去过说的，我今天中午是中多，强把的人家强调先，教过的，给我看的做那，他们就那上街头个嘛的是，我这他就第一个能把上街去了，对了，强调先第一步就过的是。他是就啥把家去吧，可能一把天，你要是让我强调先，你要是让呢，那现在的人呢，那在那才来说，东二层嘛偏心头是，我这最起码呢，对不对？上街下他说偏个的是，我这就别强调想那搞不懂，可能把这样的说呢，准备这个事情这个的是，我这那一天强调先的有呢，真的让俺们的主他可能其他的这样主标的可能呢，那个层嘛，他强调先的头顶头。我真的，我在强调先呢， 왜 시합할 친구 이렇게 주 탐지 심지는 이렇게 친구인도스 어떤 정도와 어떤 것도 창조 심 대비가 나타네 다 냠나서 치고 쇼레스
So the text is called illuminating the innermost heart. So it clarifies the essence, and so then it begins in a small print. It says, Namo Guru, a yogi who wishes to practice the sadhana of the 5 Cakrasamvara deities, should set up the outer and inner offerings, the dharma, and feast substances before an image of the deity. So you have the outer dharmas and inner dharmas, and you have, for example, a tanka of the deity, this image of the deity, and then you have the inner offering, vajra, bell, and damaru drum, and you sit on a cushion. And so then we engage in the practice based on our motivation of bodhicitta. Lord Jigten Somgön had said that whatever virtue you practice, you must practice it on the basis of love and compassion, of bodhicitta. If you do not practice it on the basis of bodhicitta, then that virtue's practice will not lead to enlightenment. And now, especially as Buddhist practitioners, actually, it is really just the practice of bodhicitta that is really essential. No matter how profound and vast a certain dharma or teaching you may practice, it all really relies on bodhicitta. No matter how profound and vast, if you do not practice it with bodhicitta, there will be no result. But if you practice with bodhicitta, then in this lifetime already you will benefit from it. For example, your illness and your other difficulties will decrease, and also it will become the cause of enlightenment in the future. So actually, it is said that this mind of bodhicitta is like the lamp flame, the light that illuminates the darkness that may have lasted for 1,000 aeons. So you practice the sadhana on the basis of bodhicitta. And actually, everything comes down. The teachings on karma and so forth, whether it's old or new tradition, everything comes down in the end to bodhicitta. And so that makes a big difference when we engage in Dharma practice. It is our motivation. No matter what Dharma we practice, it is important to do so on the basis of bodhicitta.
Tene da dem jo yamyo ni pote ze go shosare so so geje jitang jerem te gomya la gomtang mandras ka she yong do wa ten du ta ta ne ta geje zhong qi se de ze ngongjiang ga qi se de tan mandras ka she yo wa tin na ta ta ne geje zhong qi se de wa ten du geje zhong qi te gom go hyo de da ka san ya geje ki dem jo yamyo te ze go hyo re wa ten ji tian zong gong gong che na la la jik chan jo ban ni sa se ti tong da ko sho sa la la jik char geje yar ji ya我之前就把那个啥是最多，我提同他科学啥的，但这里当我做他在点叫有没有唐反正我他吃小人通个啦，就他点叫那工作我不听住有了，我听住去下也讲用光的人中有了子，下都只听住送的嘞。我听住有的他帮忙的这个听住送的，他听住有了，就他我做唐卡自哈科个啦，我他那一他。차람 나제 오스콤 고레스 와탄데 곰고야 짐생 카르세나 드리 요안드레 다 도체 첸함 정도 돈마 첸함 정도 와티긴 초바 첸함 정도 와탄주 용표라 와탄 뒤티 텐타마 바제 키나티 첸함서 첸함 오늘 조토고 마레스 데 소소사제네 첸함신데 첸함 오스 치토야 핑그레스인디 탐보 다 la se go yak jum chen dang wote wote rin do
So then on page 19 still it says then in an instant I appear in the form of the co-emergent transcendent conqueror. So that is in an instant you appear as Cakrasamvara with consort. And so in general now there is different kinds of generation stages, different ways of visualizing a deity. And this one here, that is called the instantaneous or miraculous arising of the deity. For example, there is others like the 5 manifest enlightenments and so on. There's different kinds. And so here we visualize the deity in an instant. So in an instant, you arise as Cakrasamvara with consort. And Lord Jigten Sumgan in the Gongchik also said that the deity that arises instantaneously, momentarily, or the arising of the deity instantaneously is a profound key point. And so here, for example, you visualize the deity according to the Tanka. You have seen an image of Cakrasamvara, and so you visualize the red color, and he's holding Vajra and bell and so on. There's Vajra Yogini holding a curved knife. So just according to the sadhana later, you visualize the deity. And so the reason now why we already visualize ourselves as the deity right in the beginning is because after that, we need to consecrate the nectar and the dorma and the offerings. And if we were to see ourselves as ordinary beings, then we could not consecrate these substances. So in order to be able to consecrate these substances, we need to visualize ourselves as the deity right in the beginning. So that's why we start the practice right with visualizing ourselves as the deity.
Kendaro hong pi se do tate terindo kendaro he sena tumchi ma san kan ro maro je yuro dimjol ha nga na la te tumchi ma sera kendaro nga ndarwa otate ndikel nan terindo tumchi ma kendaro he se ta rang ni kari te kendaro ni be tambo ta do tsirwa do tsinda ga bala je na do tse yuna ti gang la hombe chu tor ni khala tene rang ni kale par Karuman mos ton something Dutzelene de letters of gates of Parjan go sure or gates of Mata gates of Parjan Tene Taring Bopar, that is on some Taring Bodine or Tendrichi son, some Tendrichi do.
Kandamambo Tura.
Or the or getting Kandamambo to.
And then on page 20, it says first cleanse the inner offering with Kenda Rohe Hung Hung Pet. And so Kenda Rohe is in Tibetan Dumchema, and that's the red dakini. And so with the red dakini mantra, you're first cleansing the inner offering, which is the, you have this Kabbalah, this skull cup filled with Amrita, with nectar in front of you. That's the inner offering. And with the mantra, as you recite the mantra, you sprinkle some vase of water on that inner offering. And while you do that, visualize that from your heart, then emanate many forms of Kendarohem dakinis. That those red dakinis emanate from your heart, and they go into that nectar and purify all impurities and all hindrances within that nectar, and think that all of these impurities and hindrances are sent far away. And so then, so then yeah, she melts. All of these dakinis then dissolve back into your heart.
Then that one Subava Shuda Sarva Dharma Subava Shuda Jifarva Tariki, the most important one of Rangate, Kasanata, Yon Stop, Chutam, Yon Stava, Ngavos, and Ngavo under the Hans, and Ngavo under the Shudo Hand of the
And then again, the same mantra as before during the 3-layer protection sphere of Tummo. So you purify with Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Svabhava Shuddhoham. So again, all phenomena are completely pure. That is my nature. So the Ham is like, that is my nature.
tene dandre ma te yungurwa te ta sha nga de tsinga se sha nga de tsinga te yung du han ka shi tsam shi lo na kare na ze sha de ko anda won ze ge sha de ma bo ze be sha da me sha da won ze tan da ma da la bya jin ba sam shi do no ma za ba yung na sen ju sam shi do ta ning ba ta zo na da di sa ko gra wa te na te ta kare se na ze ma da be won le chin na te nam to so ba ja ya da wa te ta be ngol chin ta ma da se yo ma wa wa te du ta pa ram ja le tsama 我天对张做谁要买的啦？我这里，我在那年呢，这他比我那时候下啊，都成啊，都结巴人啊，养啊，给上去吃，这都是就是说抢那年们去呢啊，但上那边用台空腾着特别的，我听着偏到全部有事了哇，我这里点呢下啊，都成啊，现在拉票啦，下天的，我的好的等下的是可蛮用的，但听着用呢，好的。这说同样的问题里面在去迎接面迎接面你的这样的下头说了老票嘛说没关系呢经济老表涨是吧我听的我听着下有意思
So then what follows from there then so there is then the visualization of the 5 nectars and the 5 meats. And so if you are maybe new to all of this, maybe you wonder about what that is. For example, those 5 meats, like human flesh and so on, it might seem a bit strange. But if you have already done the practice before, you have some understanding of what that means. So what that means is that from an impure perspective, first we want to purify our ordinary thoughts. And that is why we make this an offering. And then from a pure perspective, actually there is no pure and impure any longer. Everything is an infinite expanse of great purity, and there is nothing that is pure or impure at all in that state. So from that pure perspective, then actually the 5 meats and the 5 nectars, their nature really are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas and their consorts. And by making this offering and consecrating them, that is conducive for then completing the qualities of the various levels of practice. And so now maybe if you don't really understand what that means, it might seem a bit strange, but actually when we talk about like making an offering of those meats and so on, actually we don't really have to make this offering. We don't really have to come up with that kind of flesh, but here we are just visualizing that.
我真的他听到了，他东北讲的是，他东北讲的是，他东北讲的是，我这他的都是下啥子的了，羊是学过就是羊弄经过我不是多，羊弄。哦。这都是下是啥子的，他东北下是啥子的了，羊是当不一个羊是让一个呢，我这羊这里呀，都是的嘛，羊把我去呢，这那种经过大家去看咱们是，几乎羊现在的是吧？几乎羊现在的也用索尼波的发电是多tarchi的多，就当不是讲要做他的，咱们叫推荐牛羊多的可是，不是很多。 怎么说？这牛羊多些？
哦，差不多。
哦，听到这个有啥子说？我听驴，我鸡的了是，我羊是不得了是，我鸡，我等于他ram嘛不就说我ram的没经过的，我等于ram是用的这没学呢，这没经过就说说这ram等的了说的，真的是，有时ram就是这样的没办法的是，没办法这样的是，我听着。 ที่เดินนั่นสิก็ส่งทุกข์โอมาอาวงส่งที่สอนส่งอยู่ละเช่นที่ที่พาเช่นที่มันก็จีบส่งชัวร์มีคนก็จีบส่งว่าที่ดักว่าที่ร้านเตียนเดียร์ดักว่าที่พานานเตียนเดียร์สิว่าที่เนี่ย
คาร์นานเตียนอันนี้ยังจับเดียว
What didn't Ranjiva maybe Sonji Agabo some Telitan Toba Yanshi Jacheva some Devan Sombe Marbo, Tomba Sombe Chicago, that Devan Sombe Namarora, Tomba Sombe Chicago, Deton Yer maybe. Deton Yer made a 20% or 20%. Toba drop major, tell 20%.
This one. Put any color.
Garboteli Yatoba Yanshi Jachivasi, what Garba Tombe Somba, Chilo Garbo, Tombe Somba,
Nala Maporo,
David Somba, Deton Yer maybe. Deton Yer maybe Sonjira, 20% drop major, what 20% Zamroshnova, what into Zamne, Tesla Samra. What is it? I to the Targa Parka in your Tina Zero, you said it.
So then, after the emptiness, then from the state of emptiness appear wind, fire, and the hearth of skulls. So first wind, so from the state of emptiness, and that which is now this, you have consecrated the inner offering, this nectar before you. So there, above this nectar, you think, then there's the state of emptiness, and from that, from the syllable yam, arises a wind mandala, which is the shape of like a bow, like half a circle. So the yam melts into light, and then it becomes a wind mandala, which has the shape of like half a circle, a bow. And at the center of that shape, it is the center is marked with a syllable yam, and on to the left and the right, on the left and right corners of that half circle are banners, some fluttering banners. Actually, we have this new book that Mark had translated in the bookstore, and that's actually a translation of a very extensive Cakrasamvara commentary. If you have a look at that book, it actually all of that is explained very clearly there. So we have the not a wind mandala. Then on top of that is the fire mandala. So then from the syllable ram, which is red in color, then a triangular shaped fire mandala emerges, and the tip of that triangle is facing you, and it is marked with a syllable ram at its center. And then a hearth of skulls. So that hearth of skulls arises from the three syllables Om Ahung, which represent the enlightened body, speech, and mind. So Om Ahung dissolve and then transform into three human heads, which make like kind of like a tripod, like hearth. And the back side of those skulls is facing you, so they're facing away from you. And then on this, from Am arises a vast and wide kapala. The A syllable is white, and it represents the unborn nature. And so from this arises a vast and wide kapala, a skull cup. And that's on the inside it is red, on the outside it is white, and that represents the union of bliss and emptiness. So the emptiness is represented by the white outside, and bliss is represented by the red inside. So all of that again you can also find in that more elaborate commentary that we have in the bookstore.
他修可是修新我们第一次嘛多，干嘛就是多。哦，这几天呢，大家门北拉修，门北边门北拉修，可是门北拉修马罗。
Vira macho, or Vira macho, Vira mamushu.
Rebe mura. Mura. Vera mambo shirwa, vera mambo shuse. That's it. Sorry, what you say? Fair senate. Chichen someone or Chashusara. Chichen said, what Chichen someone fair ras.
It is 당연히 문화 보면 또 ging det strungdaget du.
Nu.
Dimare, det.
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 Ja. Ta de fe sena.
Harata vidi chichera.
Chichen ki som ko ra sena rakta. Shu sena chansim.
Det mamare.
Marwa ma. Marwe ore era marwa ma. Ma sena te ma sena leba yora.
Leba.
Tene ma ra vera ma murwa. Sena ta ka sange de la ma son ko ta. Vera ma我在强行过去，强行有了。为了可以为了嘛，没学了吧？
Shuk transere.
学的强行过去是，没得没得过去是这去了吧？这去。我这上网他这我上网参与是吧？我真的拿过什么的？拿些的天是拿些的。没下上的科学上了，科学的话浪下的科学上的，那个，可以，那个他写的，他写的可以是能，他写的大于了，我这那个他哈了，他写的啷不起了，我写的起，
Det ska gå till det kare.
Gå till起，
gå till chi.
我这。
Det ska det går så det.
Går så det går la på mazon.
Lampa till Amazon.
Tambo la.
Lampa till ni la mer.
Hvala.
Ni ta ni lampa till ni.
Ta chanson.
Det går till chira.
我在这下岸的这岸是多的下岸的这岸是我在这说就当这上岸可以说他换人家漂亮堂堂讲呀我在这里说他换人家中送这家人给去垃圾机呢他们这个是七八人下学啥我这对这人都蛮在看的我让说这上岸是呀当的时候开始去路没熊那怎么在咱们的过程多下这挺重要的去买的强调先给垃圾多对这说我说他把讲头那个什么强调que rangi sana comprendo yada topa konto toyada te farsi si yada mambos pensiores watel tane te chashindo.
So then there are those the syllables then. So within that Kapala then, so we have the Kapala on the hearth of skulls, and inside that then first arise the 5 nectars. And here on page 20 we have the 5 syllables, the seed syllables from which those nectars arise. So first the syllable Vim, from that arises feces. Then from Ram arises blood, menstrual blood. From Ma arises brains. And from Mum arises urine. And from Shum arises the bodhicitta drop, the semen. So these are the 5 nectars. And then the 5 meats in the next line. From Na arises the human flesh. From Gom arises the cow's flesh. From Dam arises the horse flesh. From Ham arises the elephant's flesh. And from Gum arises the dog's flesh. So these are the 5 nectars and the 5 kinds of flesh. And so in the Vajrayana, in the secret mantra, now we have to remember that everything is in an infinite expanse of purity. And when we see it from that pure perspective, then these substances really become Samaya substances, very special Samaya substances, whose nature are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, Buddha families. And so in the secret mantra, there's various samaya substances, and often the different practices may be very difficult to comprehend by an ordinary person, and one might think that that means all kinds of things, but actually we shouldn't see it in this ordinary way. These substances really have a pure meaning, and they purify our ordinary grasping, and really ultimately their nature is all bodhicitta, and by offering these samaya substances, that actually is said to be conducive for our realization to increase and also to clear away obstacles.
tene ta jangtho bar be se dam do te ta jangtho bar se na ta the sare jangwa sen do jangwa sen ta de dire ta ta di tang ga zu jingko te yo te di yang long jingko je yo te ne ti ye yong fa rang na wo de pa hong hong chi long pa chu ne rang na wo pa long chu te ta ta yam ke ye yong ni fa dian ni yo fa dian ni po de la po ne tene variant dabdite long ti ash choche chone me bar wat me bar ne te nak ze te so sama ya ku wat ne sama so ya bo ku ne ma da chama sam par jan ta ba ta tamse ki de shorson zam ba te jan wa ser la fyo sare tamse ki de shorson de si kan do marser no shorson zam tamse ki de tene ta toba seriate toba yura toba ya danke kommen da toba sen do toba se de ti so sare ti du ti ki ti lamba tere her kadam kan tor den de chong song zang kadam ka te kadam ka de ngu chin to ta versione te hong sen de les te kadam ka de mar o tshone te her ge tu ju chang jo semt her ge tu ju chang jo semt te na kyo song zam te de te chang jo semt ke de kyo song zam ra te chang jo semt te de ta yer me le sen je son du te tsama wo shune de ta yer me ban de son du de ti jian zo kan do gar wa ri ja si wa te ne ro ngar wa te chang jo sem bi rang yi tang de le te chang jo sem ke de te sa re te per se te ta se tampo se la ri sa re.
And then there is it says here, just in brief, through purifying, realizing, and flaring, then the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar. So this purifying here, first, here you think that from your nostrils, wind, so from your nostrils, think that a breeze of wind that has the nature of Hong emerges, and that wind that emerges from your nostrils, then remember the heart of skulls with the yam, so then there is the yam, which is this half circle, and on the left and on the right we said there is fluttering banners. So then the wind coming out of your nose then touches those banners and makes them flutter more, and that stirs the wind mandala of yam. And so above that wind mandala is the fire mandala. So that stirring wind then makes the fire blaze. And on top of that fire, there is those skull cups and the human heads and the skull. And so then through the blazing of the fire, the substances inside the skull cup begin to boil. And that purifies all stains, all impurities. And then the nectar transforms into a samaya nectar that is like reddish, yellowish in color. So that's purifying. Then realizing is that then the next from the center of this purified nectar, then a steam arises, and that steam then turns into a khadvanga staff that is turned upside down, and it has the color of quicksilver, a silverish color. And then that also dissolves into light, and then that light dissolves into the nectar, and then the nectar transforms into and that Khatvanga represents the Heroka Cakrasamvara and his bodhicitta. And so then as that light then melts into the nectar, then the nectar transforms into nectar, bodhicitta nectar. And that then is white and like translucent and clear in color. And it has the nature of bodhicitta and is sweet in taste.
Tene da perva serte jendo parva serte ta la handik serte tete sar de karsana te duti gan oma awon somtro to tele ozen tro ne das chokchu sanje changjo samba tamji tuyu le yo be changjo sem de sama sor go tene de tsada tem tere an mar tere ozen tro ne rangi ne be chi janso de so rangi de yore se wa so sama go tera so tem ne wa te de janso chimbo da chor son zam da so ke dong khasi le te ji go na ti sama sin do me le de janso ke rangi chor son zam wa da tin ru chi de tene rang ki so be chang de sin han de ru chi ne je ne ga sha ya no tin ru chi de我听见呢，这让带动你是没被一些就接送上，我咋听着，什么当个就是了，我咋听这个啥的，他干嘛开始直接流失，那太平了。
And then there is flaring, and that is then the next. On top of that nectar appear the syllables Oma Hung. They are stacked on top of each other, and then from those syllables, light radiates, and this light then gathers back the bodhicitta of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and then gathering back in the form of light, then that dissolves into the nectar, and then again light radiates, and then it gathers the nectar from all the natural abodes, and then that again dissolves into the nectar, and then think that this nectar turns into a vast ocean of wisdom nectar, and it transforms into anything desirable and is clear. And then after that, it says, so having thus consecrated the nectar, taste it with your tongue. So then with your left ring finger and thumb, you pick up a drop of this nectar, and you taste it, you place it onto your tongue, and think that in that moment the experience of bliss, emptiness arises within you.
That's the remote situation. I was in a Tangazo Sars, the Sunny Gilman Maze, Masugosra.
So we take a break now. At 4 o'clock, Rinpoche will continue with questions and answers, and we will continue the text tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.